Mexiko-hatt där.
Jag visste det.
Let's create some effects. Anyways, this tutorial requires beginner skills, takes no time to prep, and it takes about an hour to apply. We spent a tiny amount of money on a second-hand dress and the wig we had from a previous tutorial, so that's recycling. And by the way, the dress and the wig you can reuse many times. We popped in some contacts to make our eyes look bigger, and then we head on to spirit gum and cover our eyebrows. Make sure you don't do this unless you have a spirit gum remover. You can of course use wax to cover your brows or a regular glue stick. That works as well. And then we apply a sealer on top of that because we are gonna paint over these brows and yeah, create new ones. Let it dry, then set the whole thing with a little bit of powder. Then we head on to our foundation and cover those brows up. And while we're on the topic of foundation, let's go cover that face as well with a nice base. Next, we switch to a lighter tone of that foundation for the areas that we plan to highlight anyway, and blend that in. Later in the video we have some awesome pranks to show you, and yeah, if you have any super cool idea for a prank, let us know in the comments. Set the whole thing with some translucent powder, and then we head on to shaping our face properly. And for that we're going with a darker tone here, and we're going to use that to doll up our face with a more pronounced chin as well as those big round apple cheeks. Now Ellie has a tall face rather than a round face, of course, so we need to go bananas on this, as you will see. And to get a sense of where you are going to paint when you do the apple cheeks, just make a little smile like that. See where the lines are in your face and just emphasize those lines with that dark tone. And make sure you draw those lines from your nose wing and fade them backwards towards your ear. So basically, it's all about hard shading on the lines of your face. We go back in here, fix our nose, and then head on to put some real punch to those lines on the cheeks as well as the chin, and then continue on to our eyes, which we are going to hollow out, sort of. To get those hollowed out eyes, just let that shade run from your nose above your crease and fade them out to the edges. Yeah, it's beginning to look like a nice little doll face already. And of course, where there are shadows, there needs to be highlights, so let's get them in place on the cheeks, our forehead, our nose, and our chin. And of course, this being Ellie, we can't be without that shimmering. A porcelain doll without some color on those cheeks would be wrong, so get that in there as well. In this case, a little bit of pink. Make it pop. Switching to a black cream lipstick to paint in those brows. Thin lines, that's all it takes. And before we head on to the shout out, we switch our attention to our mouth, because on the outer corners of our mouth we have tiny little shadowy lines that we need to intensify. So make a little smile and shade them in place and give them right there a little punch. This shout goes to Felicia Aveklew Makeup. Go check it out, because there is a lot of color, a lot of creativity, and a lot of fun. Check it out and bring some love. Back to that mouth and those lips, and some more cream lipstick. Slapping that on, and this time you might want to be really careful and take your time on those edges of your lips, because this is supposed to be an artificially painted mouth. For the detailing around our eyes, it's the same principle. We need those shaded areas to really be shaded and pop out. Just like that, and to make our eyes a little bit bigger, a dash of white along that waterline. And to make sure we have the illusion of those eyes being popped into sockets, we need to intensify that shading underneath that lower lash line as well as along the crease. So let's do just that with a thinner brush. Then it's time to draw in some lashes, again with that black cream lipstick. We also draw in a sharp eyeliner before we put in those falsies. I'm transforming into a killer doll. In Swedish is jag förvandlas till en mördardocka. Time to get that wig in place, and then we comb it through. And then it's time for braiding madness. A few little rosettes in that hair as well. There we go. Put them in place. And looking at ourselves in the mirror, we see that, well, we need to boost those lines dramatically. So we go in and do just that. And for our final step, it's texture time, and we're gonna use a brown hairspray color. Oh yes, triggered, can't get the top off there. We spray our hair, make it look a little bit dirty, and we also use a now classic thing here on this channel. Let that spray touch our face as well to get those sort of dirty spatter effect. Yep, now it looks like this doll has been through a mess. And of course we go over the dress as well to give it a little dirty touch. And there you go, that nasty Annabelle doll thingy. And whoa, Now we are cross-eyed just for the sake of it. So we transformed 3 of our YouTuber friends, linked in the description, and turned them into Annabelle dolls and went for a pranking spree in a costume store.
Oh, wow.
Jag sa att de var äkta.
Sickenblås. Kan vi göra sån här riktigt sickenblås på?
Jag visste det.
Jag visste, jag bara fan. Jag bara kände såhär, fan vad verkligt det här var.
Ja, det var jävligt roligt.
Var det skönt? Fick jag lite adrenalin här.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you share it with the world so that we can grow. And if you have any cool pranks we can do with our makeups, let us know in the comments. See you in a couple of days when we head deep down under the sea. Love you. Bye.